The lights say everything is online. I'm guessing everything is online. And I didn't test, but I could test to make sure that the chat is the best. And I'm connected. Check mark. Check mark. Come on, third check mark. Third check mark. We are live in all areas and avenues and places to be. Hey, Pat Prowse. Pat Prue. 101. It's got to be 102. Patty Prue 102. But, of course, if it's the 101 on learning how Pat can be fun, then of course it's got to have that number. But, crazy it makes me. Anyway, switch back over to my remote control. My Streamlabs remote control. It's on my phone and it's super powerful. Okay, intro? Ripley? Sweetest Angel? Hey, Sweetest Angel. Why don't you play the intro for the show? Yeah? Alright, let's do this.
Tell your friends,
Tell your friends,
and tell your hot mom.
Sweetie Scooty's mom.
There's no such thing as grownups.com.
Intro sound feels shorter and shorter every time. Camera 1. Other camera. Camera 1. Other camera. Camera 1. Other camera. Hey, no, seriously, what's going on here? Are you just purposely taking up all the cameras? I mean, I know I have my own camera over here, but I feel like I deserve 2 cameras? Why don't I deserve 2 cameras? You're over here 2 cameras out. If anything, technically you've got 3 cameras because you're also using the drawing camera. So, I mean, really, I think you owe me at least 1 more camera. 1 more camera. I mean, I can't be on the same level as Ripley over there with her 1 camera. But that's not really. Meow, meow, meow. Meow, meow. Oh my god, Ripley has 2 cameras. I didn't even realize Ripley has 2 cameras. This is a travesty and an upset, and I swear to fun, I swear on all that is fun and all that is unholy, that, I will have some sort of vengeance while you sleep. While you sleep, dare not to wake, because when you do, it will be a mistake, and you will have some sort of goo. Or, I don't know, maybe something cold. Oh, how about something sharp? Yeah, I'm going to stab you. I'm going to stick you with something while you're sleeping, and you're going to bleed. So, get me one of those cameras, and then everything will be cool. Don't be like that. Forgot to do this before the intro, thus defeating any cold openness that there might be. Games pass. And Pat over here, Pat over there, Pat's everywhere. I don't even know if you can hear this. Not that it matters. Batteries are almost dead. Just messing around with that before the stream. And... put the fan over there, tilted it so it's not blowing across the microphone, but then I just realized I'm not feeling it either. But the air is circulating, so it's very non-suffocation-y at the moment. And drawing pen. I'll assume this is all working, right? There we go, that's a line. Don't need to hit save, but I will anyway. Oh, man. You know what? I just jumped straight into the world of the vampire set to prey on everyone with its teeth in every scary, disease-ridden way. You want to talk about that? Forgot to take a drink before I started talking relentlessly. Meant to have a drink that probably about a half hour ago. But there we go. So yeah. Yeah. Hey, what's motivation? I don't know. I don't know anymore. I used to be all like, hey, I've got all kinds of projects. I'm working on all kinds of projects. I got this, I got that. There's always something. Plus my job keeps me busy. It's not too hard to stay busy during, lockdown, pandemics, whatever. I'm already in kind of lockdown mode for the most of my life anyway. And then it's just like, yeah, I got lots of stuff. Want to finish this book. I got a painting on the table. I got this other thing over there. That started over there. Some notes over there. Lots of things going on. But then it's just like, hey, wouldn't it be cool if we were just on lockdown? Wouldn't it be great if we were on lockdown and we didn't have so much racism? Should have thought of that beforehand so I could figure out how many words to use, because that was too many. Way too many syllables. I've always copped into my elbow long before it was a thing. Still need a haircut. Maybe I'll just never get one. I don't know. I don't know. Kind of half tempted to just go and just leave. I can't think of what character it is, but I feel like it was in like GamePro magazine. There was some character that was just bald, but then just had like a shing shing, like two like anime hair teeth hanging out. I don't know. Spikes, I guess, would probably be the best thing. But oh man, yeah. Last week I was like, all right, I'm gonna do stuff, and I don't know. Pretty much immediately the next day, like stream is Tuesday, and on Wednesday I'm just like, oh yeah, getting out of bed. I forgot that's impossible now, because I remember the stuff from yesterday, but you never know. Hey phone. Not you, but hey phone, just in case. Why not just hold it? What? Hey, let's see what's going on. What? You gotta stay connected, right? Maybe the world is better. Maybe everybody watched my YouTube last night and I solved racism, and I know that I didn't, but maybe you got some balls rolling, or maybe racism was just solved and it had nothing to do with me, because everything is not my responsibility. But yeah, it's just like, even though you're already like, whoa, this is all crazy. This is so crazy, but it can't get crazier. Oh, but guess what? It does every single day. It's so crazier somehow. Like, it doesn't even make any sense anymore. And I mean, it's just, like, seriously. If I were you, if I did have a motivation to do things, which I do not, but if I did, I would definitely lose it, and I don't know how you would get it back. Some sort of Stella style groove recollection. Do you know Estella? Does anybody know Estella? How did she get her groove back? I did watch the movie. I assume she made out with a young guy. I think she made out with a young guy. I don't know. Anyway, inappropriate probably on many levels. Yeah, I don't know. But all week long, or all months long, I don't know anymore. But maybe you remember the last time I was like, hey, I finished that comic. It's like 80-some pages. I'm going to send it off to get printed, and it's going to be great. And then a few days later, I finished formatting it, and it was all like, hey, you know that option to make a square book? Like, yeah, that's not here anymore. We don't do that. But I built this city on the previous rock and roll template that I had. It was going to be the same dimensions as the dinosaur books. And now, what are you telling me? What are you telling me? But that's fine. That's fine. I'll just reformat it for book shape. Excuse me. And like I said, there was definitely a stream where I was like, hey guys, I'm like 10, 15 pages in to reformatting this book. It's so close. And that's the last time I did it. pretty much every day, I'll open up the file or some other file or pull another project out and be like, all right, this is what I'm doing. And it's like, can't wait for 5 o'clock to come, do my work real hard. And at like 5 o'clock, I'm like, all right, open up my file, close my work files, or pick up my paint or whatever it is. And then by like 5:06, I'm in this chair just like, oh, Greg Davies, entertain me and make me feel better. Or some other British person. Or One Punch Man. Because I watched a One Punch Man movie, just kind of standalone episode. I expected it to be a big movie. It was just a 30-minute episode. But still, One Punch. He's the best. Well, that's how I started to get my motivation back, Space Goods. I'm gonna say Saturday. I don't even know what day it was, but all week I've just been like, no, I'm gonna do something. Gotta do something. Just crush myself under my own delusions of grandeur, and then I managed to did some doodles in my sketchbook. I'm just like, do I even know how to draw anymore? How long has it been since I've drawn? I'm like, no, I still draw every day at work. I still know how to draw. I do a good job there. I can do a good job of my own stuff. I can still do this. I know this system. It's a Unix system. And yeah, sometime on Saturday, it was just like that same old, like, it's a nice day. I'm not going to just go to sleep all day or just, let the same YouTube shows that it shows me all the time play again. I did fall into Adam F. 1000. Hey, Adam F. 1000. I'm going to assume you're not Adam Fitzgerald. But if you are, hey, Adam Fitzgerald. But if you're just Adam F. 1000, hello and welcome. But yeah, I kind of got stuck into the Adam Fitzgerald. Oh my God, Adam Fitzgerald, rolling on Twitch, making your dreams come true, and playing Nintendo Switch. Yeah, I did this week as well. I did a fire animation that I just drew it instead of cheating it with effects. And then, let's say on Monday? But that was yesterday. So on Friday, I did a Carlton dance. Or however Carlton dances. And I just fully, I still half cheated it. But it's fully drawn right through. There's no symbols. There's no tweens. It's just frame for frame, repainting it all, which I don't really do that often. But even just that alone was just like, yeah, I can do this. Like, I'm gonna do something. But yeah, I've been watching a bunch of going through the Game Grumps, Team Sonic, whatever it's called, Sonic Heroes. And the last few episodes of that, just loving it. Like, the game itself, garbage. But Aaron and Dan are they're heroes. They're just national heroes, I think. And then after that, I was like, they keep mentioning Sonic and the Black Knight. I'm going to watch some of that again. And I just put one on, and it's like, it's fairly fused into my brain from whenever I watched it, a year ago or whatever. And I got sucked into that for a bit where I'm just like, oh, this is still so great, but so frustrating. I should just go play some video games. I should just go do something. And the new old Super Bunny Man, fantastic. Heave Ho, I believe it's called, where they're like just little bodies with these arms and they just kind of climb around and throw each other around. That was my, I still go back. That's become one of my, relaxing things. Like, let's throw on Heave Ho and listen to that. And mostly exactly Space Goonie. You typed it before I said it, but just take my hand. Aaron, take my hand. And just, they could say that 10 billion times, and I'm just like, oh, guys, I'm going to take this right here. Just going to snuggle up. I'm just going to listen to you guys say, Aaron, take my hand. Daniel, take my hand. throw me, Dad, catch me. And I just can't get enough of that one. And I really like got to the end of the Sonics, and I'm like, I don't know, randomly watching stuff, like I don't know what to do. Again, like when I'm not occupying my time, I'm just like, all right, okay, how do I solve all the world's problems with some sort of illustration or a poster or an animation? How do I do that? We maybe this nice mask. That's been on for a little while, and I mean, this polka dot shirt. You're telling me that's not causing world peace? Look at this nice shirt. I mean, I feel like I'm getting compliments left, right, and center about this shirt. Like, where'd you get this shirt? Can I get a shirt like that? And I'm like, no. For various illustration-y, non-existent reasons, you can't have this shirt. But yes, you could technically go find a shirt like this, I'm sure. Or like we discussed before, we gotta put some more shirts in the shirt store. And by we, I mean you, because I ain't got no thumbs over here. How come this version of me doesn't have thumbs, by the way? Can we talk about that? No, we can't. There's just lots of versions of him, and sometimes, you know, you take the easy way out. Meanwhile, over on the drawing camera, I'm thinking, like I said, I'm in Sonic. You know what I'm starting to think? Now that you say that, I think that where I stole it from is not from somebody's shirt, but I think somebody has pants like that. You know what? I think Nelly has a shirt like that. I think my friend Nelly, I think it's her shirt that I stole. Now that, but I feel like I saw somebody in pants like that very recently. Oh yeah, we don't, just going to do straight lines. So anyway, Game Grumps been out for a while, trying to get my motivation back, and sometime on the weekend, I got polka dot pants, but I don't wear them around, 'cause I don't like to dance, and everyone says, hey, dance those pants, and I'm like, no, get out of my house. And yes, so sometime over the weekend, I was like, that's it. Comic. I'm doing this comic. If I don't finish this comic, this is the thing that's keeping me from being motivated. Because I finished it, and this happens all the time. This is totally my thing. Is I'll get pretty far in on a project, and I'll be like, or I'll finish it, and then it's like, oh, well, you have to make this one little change that affects everything. So this is going to be like a week-long operation to make this a finished project, even though I'm like, but I finished it. Like, I just finished it. But I'm like, oh, wrong. To me, like, hey, no. Yeah, but you got to change all that stuff. Like, oh, but that's so life-draining. How do I move on to another project without finishing this project? And then I'm like, this is why you went to therapy. And I'm like, oh yeah, pointing at the wrong camera. All that stuff from therapy. It's not your job to do everything in the world. You just do your thing, and as long as you're not hurting anybody else, and you're trying to do something good, put some sort of positive something out there, then you're doing good. Just keep doing that. If you're not a racist, if you're not attacking people, if you're cool with things, then that's about it. I don't know. There's not a whole lot of fights in this town to fight, and I'm not going picking fights, even though, you know, I've still gotten into a few mild word-based arguments on people trying to convince me to scream, stop being racist in their face. And yeah, that's about it. It's just like when I put myself back into that state of like, oh, what did my therapist say? What would he say about this? It's just like, what, you're gonna sit here and just feel depressed for however long until the world fixes itself, or you could still be doing something in that time that is just as effective as laying there in a ball wishing the world would get better. Like, thanks, memories of therapist. Good idea. And And yeah, so I finally sat down with my book, and I'm just like, all right, like this has some good things in it. It's not gonna change any minds, but people are gonna enjoy it, and maybe it'll change some minds. Maybe it'll change one mind. I don't know. Um, but uh, but yeah, I went from page 14, maybe I was on 15 of reformatting, and got all the way up to page 65 last night. Yeah, and now it's not as long as it was. I've been adding pages, so it went up to about page 90, and thanks to having to consolidate some of the pages because now the page is longer and I can fit more panels on it. So I'm like, I can't draw 2 panels for every single page. So a lot of pages will have a title now. That I was like, I don't want to do that. I mostly was just fighting myself for doing that. Just don't do that. I'm just like, no, do that. But that's stupid. It's just clearly just added on. But it might work. Just try it. Do it to one page and see how it looks. Like, oh, I did it to one page and it looks great. It really does add to it. But then, yeah, many of the multi-page panels, multi-page strips, moved some of the panels back. So I lost pages. So I went from 90 to like 80 some pages now. Which again, still good. And I did end up adding so many panels, so there's so much more to it now that a lot of the pages I'm like, oh man, this one really needed 2 more panels or 1 more panel, and this one didn't need any more panels, and I added 4. And for some reason, that's my favorite one because it's hilarious to me. Oh man. So yeah, I don't know. I'm just messing around here with lines. And yes, like I said, I've been watching so much Sonic that I just kind of want to make a little Sonic poster of some kind. Oops. But whatever idea I had, I've definitely lost. Which, you know what that means. Batman it is. When you run out of ideas, Batman's always there. If you don't have a thought in your head, give Batman a care. And he's like, I'm always here in the shadows, and I know what you see, and I know what you're up to, 'cause I'm the Batman, and I'm not a bee. I'm not good at this. Can we cut away from me now? I don't have any rhymes. I don't have a single rhyme in my head. And this is hurting your throat. Batman in the Sonic universe, solving crimes that drift through cracks, 'cause these two Dumbledoos. I just don't have any ideas. I'm not on the right camera. Oh yeah. So alright, I'm gonna take the Batman thought, I'm going to Sonic it up. Not really gonna be Sonic. Go for a weird stylized thing. So yeah, in the process of trying to come out of a complete lack of motivation. Oh, I like that better. Sonic the Hedgehog. So fast. So yeah, I was like, ugh, everyone's going to the beach, everyone's doing summery stuff, and I still don't feel comfortable with doing stuff to a certain degree. But there's definitely something I could do. I'm like, I always go on the same walk down to the park and around town, and I know that just past the highway, I'm pretty sure like 2 seconds past the highway, it's like, hey, there's the tidal bore, the big river that some people go rafting down. That sounds horrifically dangerous. When I went to school here, everybody was like, oh my god, you gotta go tidal bore rafting. Like, that doesn't sound like something I would ever do. And every time people would come back from it, they'd just always be ridiculously bruised. And I could walk up Jacob's Ladder, which is at the park. It's a really steep set of stairs that just go off into oblivion, a million miles up into the woods, just straight up. And I think the last time I went even remotely up those stairs was when I went to college here 100 years ago. And now, like, literally just looking at them, just like, wow, that's so steep. That's so steep. Because even the other set of stairs up by the waterfall, I'm like, oh, I'm going to go up around there. And I started to a few weeks ago. I don't know when it was. And I'm just like, oh, snaps. If I go any further up these stairs, I might have to ask a stranger, excuse me, could you elderly people help me down the stairs? Because I have become petrified by how steep this is. And I know that's a thing. It's happened to me before where I'm just like, I'm going to have to slide down these stairs like a child because I can't physically stand up and walk down these stairs. So I didn't go past the waterfall yet. But the waterfall is where it's at. Anyway. But yeah, so this time it's totally not what I'm picturing in my head for this illustration. But it's close. So yeah, just past the tidal bore, there was a little parking area, and there's a bunch of trails. I'm like, perfect. Perfect. We'll have all the teeth. No. Yeah, I hate this. Yeah, Sonic's too round. I can't do him with straight lines. It doesn't make any sense. So. Really don't remember what Sonic looks like. Yeah, so it was super nice. Parked the car, and then started to head down some trails. And it goes down by the water. It's all like clay on the sides. Super nice. Looks super nice. I saw some kind of animal. It was probably a deer or a cow. I'm not sure, but it was like in the bushes. Like there was this big patch of trees, lots of farm area around. CTK, what up? And then I just out of the corner of my eye realized like some big-headed animal was like staring at me from there was like main path I was on, some bush and like a gully, and then another path and then some bushes, and this thing was just staring at me, and I just realized like, wait, is something staring at me? And I looked back, but as I did, some guy in a bike was whipping down that path, so it was just gone. So I'm just like, oh man. I just kind of want to know if it was a cow, which is kind of odd for a cow to be in that area, or a deer, but in either instance, it's just like both of those animals seem like it's a kind of an awkward area for it to be. But it at least had enough of a cow deer vibe that I at least didn't think it was a Sasquatch or Yeti monster staring at me. I think usually in those cases, a Chupacabra, I think I usually just think it's a moose when I think it's some sort of like, what was that? Must have been a moose most of the time. So my plan was like, all right, I'm gonna scoop back around. I'm gonna explore this little wooded area. There seems to be a little path going into there that I assume probably teens use to go drinking or something like that. So halfway up the path, I realized like I don't want to go in there. I don't want to discover what's inside this little secret area, and I'm gonna leave Terabithia alone for whatever's going on in there. Slash, if some stabby hobo is gonna live in the woods, it's gonna be at the end of this path. Or slash, maybe it was a bear that I saw. I don't know. And same deal. Even a moose, just like I don't want to come up on a moose too closely because they're really terrifyingly big, and I don't think there's a handful floating around. There's a handful. I guess instead of a hobo, it would be more like a stabby hillbilly. You know, if some stabby hillbilly was like, I'm going to take my four-wheeler out, I'm going to park it on the other side of these woods, I'm going to sit in here, and if anybody comes in, I'm going to stab them. I'm going to stab them. I don't know. I come from a different place. But before I got on the path, before I saw my deer cow, I was getting into the car and I looked back and there's this old couple. I was positive. I'm still positive now that I replayed some of it. They were getting ready to go. I did it again. They were getting ready to go biking down the trails, and the lady, who seemed a little less older than the older guy, she was like putting her bike together, or some kind of like folding bike, and oh man, it's been a while since I've climbed a tree. That's the other last time, like same deal going up the stairs. That's what I think about mostly. In my backyard one day, climbed this tree that I would climb all the time, every day. And one day I'm like, well, I can climb this high. I'm going to go up to that level and just hang it up there. And as soon as I get up there, just like, whoa. Can't move, can't do anything. Literally was like, I'm hanging up. I'm going to hang on to this tree until my dad gets home. Like, I might have spent a bit of time yelling, like, can somebody help me? Is there anybody? Like, neighbors? Don't remember the neighbor's name right now, but neighbors! I know you're running a business over there. You should be home. Can you notice me? I'm up in this tree. No? All right, cool. And then finally my dad came home, and I'm just like, hey, don't go in the house. Come down here. Like, what's going on? No, look up here. I'm up in the tree. Oh, just climb down. Like, I can't. You got to get me down. Like, buddy, there's nothing I can do. Like, just climb down. The same way you climbed up. Like, I can't move right now. Like, you're going to have to. Hey, listen, I'm here now. So if you do fall, I'll catch you. And, you know, he was a super skinny guy. So I probably would have just destroyed him. And yeah, so before I get into the path, this old lady's like snapping her bike together, so that's why I was like, they're definitely on their way to go biking, because she's putting it together, not taking it apart. Most of them are like, wow, like that bike doesn't look cool, but it looks like a pretty sturdy, functional bike. Like, wow. And then the old man who was with her was like, something. And he kind of comes around the van, like holding his bike, and is seemingly like, hey, can you grab onto this bike for me? I don't think I can do this. And that's when I realized he's like Darth Vadering around the corner. Like, both of his legs are like mostly cybernetic. Like he's got braces over everything. He's definitely has two crutches or two canes, and I'm just like, I mean, I give no reaction whatsoever other than like, hey, how's it going? Like, have a good day, and away I go. But I'm quite educated by the monkey bars. And so then they started, like, I don't know, tearing down the bikes. Excuse me. To which it just left me really thinking pretty good and hard. It's just like, what do you guys think you were gonna do today? Really? Like, really? I mean, the lady seemed like, yep, she could definitely go for a bike ride. But this guy was just like, you're having trouble getting from the door to the back of the car. And, you know, biking's a lot of effort. And, you know, no judgments or whatever. But it was just like, I don't see a world where this guy goes on a bike ride? Like, what? This is a weird situation. Seriously, I don't know how to draw anymore. Not that I'm even drawing. Just bending lines. Bending lines for fun. So yeah, once again, stuck in that weird window that is like, should I offer to help? Like, do you guys need help with whatever's going on here? Because somebody needs to help, but you guys aren't wearing masks. I don't have a mask on right now because I'm out in the woods, and plus you're old. So I don't want to kill you. And regardless, like, I don't know how to dismantle these bikes. I don't know what your deal is. I think it might be a Sonic the Hedgehog, but I still don't know, really. I still don't know. Go, go, Sonic Rangers. Let's just chop them off right now. But yeah, other than that, it's a pretty quiet adventure. Not really. Didn't really see any wildlife. No weird bugs to take pictures of. Well, no, there was one, but once it landed, I was like, oh, you're not a weird bug. You're that same beetle that always freaks me out, that I forget exists. It's kind of like a like a long body black beetle. It's kind of got a bit of a green, sometimes a bluish sheen to it. But when it's landed, it's like, hey, you're no big deal. But when its wings are out, it's just like, oh, what is this thing? I've never seen it before. It might as well be a predator face. It was just like, it was all over the road. So one of those chased me around for a minute when I was like, hey, what's the deal with this bench? Maybe I'll sit on a bench. Nah, I still can't sit on benches. And that weird beetle was all like, maybe you should leave. And I was like, this has been enough. I think I'm properly motivated now. I'm gonna go make some stuff, draw some things again. And I eventually got back to working on the comics / drawing things. Oh, this back arm just isn't. Yeah, I want this arm to be out more. I don't know why I can't think. But mostly, I just want everybody to start liking each other again. I just can't comprehend that people are fighting so much of just arguments that are just so common sense that it's just like, how are you even coming up with a fight for this? And no, this arm has to just be back. What do I have written over here? Nature, comic. Oh yeah. Make fun of something right after this. Like seeing the posts about the thing, and I'm like, I don't know what this is. Trying to Google it, and I'm just like, I'm not getting anything close to what it is. And then finally get to the base of it, where it's like, okay, it is what it sounds like. Some white dude tried to drive into the Prime Minister's house, or one of the buildings. Excuse me. And I mean, We don't need any more. We don't need any more proof. We don't need any more evidence. We don't need any more anything. Those other last two things that I don't know, everybody posted. I know that I shared one for the Supreme Court and one for the Canadian, whatever ours is called. How it's just like the oldest, whitest people in the world, and it's just like, yeah, these people have no business making decisions for the rest of the country if you do in fact accept the fact that your country is made up of not just white people from the 20s. So like that stuff just needs to be overhauled, period. But then, you know, after all of these wellness checks, like that's what's really got me the most depressed. Same as last week, where it is just like, if I thought somebody was in trouble and I decided to call the police to help them, I am now afraid that they're just going to beat them up. When it's just like, can you just check on them? I'm really worried about them. Yep, we'll smash their faces into the floor real good. Like, that is not even close to what I was asking you to do. Like, don't give me a Milo reaction to real life things. And and then, yeah, when the thing is just like, dude, he's armed, he smashes through the gates, and they come in to get him, they just take their time, like just have a standoff or whatever, and take him away, and everything's fine. And it's like, that guy actually was a threat to your lives. Therefore, in all these other cases where you're just like, I wasn't sure, I thought maybe this sleeping person might murder me. Like, well, this person had a bunch of guns ready to, with the intent to kill you, and you managed to handle that with kid gloves. Therefore, you must be doing something racist then. That's the only other explanation. So then it is like up to not me, but up to every power that be to start, you know, picking out the wheat from the chaff from the wheat, whatever it is, cleaning and making sure things run properly for everyone, or else it is just what those institutions were originally created for, to keep down all the non-whites so the whites can be happy. So it's just like, you know, someday you gotta fix those things. So yeah, so the fact that thing was just like, yep, don't need any more proof, any more whatever. And then, of course, all the weird Republican-y posts just talking about, like, oh, the radical left is doing this and doing that. And it's like, each time I'm still like, why do you think this is a bad thing? What are you talking about, guys? You really have no common sense. That's what really scares me. Oh, and I totally even forgot about this. My new favorite horrible, hilarious thing is, hey everybody, just a quick little public service announcement on all of our social medias. Don't vote for Kanye, even as a hilarious vote to have voted. Hey, when I'm old, I want to tell my kids, I voted for this Kanye guy to be president. Huh? Hilarious. Is your grandpa hilarious? I don't know where Kanye has come from. I don't know what he is. I don't know why and how he continues to exist and have all the money. But apparently, you don't have to be smart to make money. Doing the math in my head, the stupider you are, the more quickly you can make all the money. And I'm guessing write the best songs? I come up with real stupid poems and songs. Am I as good as Kanye? Yes, I am as good, if not a better songwriter than Kanye. I don't know how to play music though, so he's got that on me. I have no idea if Kanye can play music. I don't know if he has any skills whatsoever. He looks like he barely knows how to use a phone. He looks like he barely knows how to... Yeah. If only I could edit that out. Meow. 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 Yes, Ripley, later on we'll do that with the editing and we'll make people pay money for it. But for the free stuff, no editing. But what I wanted to say was, I don't think Kanye knows how to work his own face. But I took too much time to say it, so now it's just insane. So, yeah, even that, I'm just like, as crazy as fun as it might be to be the president, like, we all used to think that, like, oh, you get a job like that, and it's basically taken care of, right? Like, if there's all 100 people doing the job, it's the same as, like, oh, you become a big movie star, you know, somebody flies you in, they fly you out, they wash your butt for you, they give you the lines as you have to do them. Excuse me. But it's not. Everything still requires work and effort, and just seeing that other orange idiot try to do things, you realize, like, oh, wow, this job is so much harder than I imagined. You can't just have a nonsense figurehead do it. But it is kind of easy in that if you want to unleash all of your machinations, you apparently can. Like, right up until he got elected, and after he got elected, I was still just like, everybody calm down. Like, he can't actually do any of these things. Like, he can't actually, like, there's so many committees, there's so many, you know, things that need to be signed and written. Like, he can't ruin the world. It's just not possible. Like, it's just not possible. He showed you, didn't he? He showed you, he showed us all. And honestly, all I've been thinking about lately is, hey, Mexico, do you want to maybe pay for that wall? Like, I'm thinking Mexico, just put up a wall. Like, just pay for it. He'll build it himself. Just block yourself off from those guys. It is not safe down there. That red diagram of infections is the scariest thing in the world. And I'm gonna start my new stance, my new political running is vote for me, and I will vote for a Canadian wall between us and Vampire Nation Z down there, because that's banana boats. It's banana boats? Do you concur? Yeah, I do. But yeah, that's one where I'm like, yeah, I think we mentioned that last week. Yeah, where it's like he's putting up his plaque to be like, we got a little farther on the wall. You're still building a wall? Why are you still building a wall? Hey, my house is on fire. All right. Well, let's build a wall around it so nobody gets in. Yeah, no, there's no house to get into, like, in a little while, because it's on fire. Yeah. We're building a wall around it, though, so those freeloaders can't get in. Get into what? The burnt-out husk that used to be a thing that people thought was cool? Yeah. Well, it's not cool anymore. All right, then. Not if the people don't cross those walls, Pat. If the people stay... Oh, God. What am I saying now? See, that's the thing. He puts you in a paradox. Because I'm like, you know what? It's like, why can't they understand? We just don't want segregation. We don't want all of these, not imaginary, but just these secret walls, these secret hoops for people of color to have to jump through in order to do the simplest things, like the real estate place that was like, or the loan place, whichever it was like, oh, I worked here for years, and I was always told when an African American comes in, they get an automatic 15 at the top. You just add that. And eventually I found out when I was leaving that job, like, oh, that means when they're going through it, they add an extra 15 points so that African American people have to be 15 points ahead of the white people applying for the same thing, even though it's not a race or whatever. I mean, it's a race issue now. So there's just all kinds of things like that already fighting against forever. And I forgot completely why I went off on that tangent. Oh, yes. So in trying to say that thing, it was just like, hey, you know, like when the black people say, I don't want to get beat up by cops anymore, the response can't be, well, then we're going to beat you up then until you stop saying that. Like, well, you're trapping me in another paradox. But, yeah, just like, stop separating things. And in my head, and it is just like, or else we'll build an island and we'll separate you all. You guys should be separated from everyone. But that also isn't the answer. It is like, no, you guys have to be crammed in with some people and learn some things. That simple. Which isn't really that simple. I realize that. But what are you gonna do? When you got avocado shakes and your Dairy Queen cheese quakes, blizzards. All right. Cause it's the funny things you do, America, America, what's with you? We watch you kick each other hard, right in the nuts, falling in the backyard, off the barn with your guts, spilling red, white, and blue. It's the crazy shiz you do, America, America, what is with you? Stop trying to be a star tonight. It's wicked getting old. America, America, what's with you? Do 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 do. Oops. Hey Sonic, what's that? What's that? Tell me now. Do you have a little butt on your eyebrow? Aw, snaps. That's gross. It's like a little toe from the game. Oh, that's uncalled for. But let's talk about something fun. Still subversive and infuriating, but in a bit of a fun way. Eh? Or at least in one of those ways where I can be like, come on! Come on! So, this keeps popping up on my Instagram. On my Instagram is video of a lady. And she's about to eat some cereal, I think. I forget what the first thing is. But before she starts doing that first thing, the text says, living my day as my husband, or acting like my husband instead of a normal effing person. So it just goes through this montage that, although hilarious, is just like, no, it's 2020. I'm sick of these. I'm so sick of these. Just write, I dumped my husband because he's stupid. And the end. Like, just write that, and then I don't need any more information. I'll assume it's because of these things in this video, because it's the same thing everybody complains about. And, meanwhile, if any of my married friends come to my apartment, they're like, oh, your apartment's so clean. Hey, your toilet's now full of shit streaks. Like, yeah, I know. Get out of that house. So the first, I want to say the first thing she does is like she's like making coffee and she takes the sugar and then it's just like it just lets it go all over the thing, and then she goes to the laundry basket and then she's about to drop it in and just goes boop, drops it next to the laundry basket, and just a bunch of things like that where it's just like basically this person is living in your home, ruining your life, and instead of, and I flash over to Ryan George, who's on Screen Rant, the Screen Rant channel on YouTube. He does a bunch of the pitch meetings for movies that already exist, and it's hilarious. He's the funniest. He's the funniest. Pretty sure his name is Ryan George. And he's Canadian, so that's also good. And he basically looks like this. So if you enjoyed this, it's basically the same. He also talks to himself instead of an imaginary cat. Still in the room. Still in the room. You could have just said, hello, hey, look at me, I'm talking to my friendly friend cat the friend. But no, you want to point out that I'm not really here. You, D-Bag McGee. That's what I'm going to call you. Hey, are you really here? Or you're some sort of D-Bag McGee. This works. Totally works. So, he's from Montreal. Pat Prue knows who he is. We've talked about him before. And he did a thing where I forgot why I brought him up. The something makes me think of Ryan George's skit where... Oh, that's what it is. So, I don't have it written down there, but just looking at the note again reminded me of what I was flashing to. He has one video where it's called, like, you know, my roommate's a vlogger, or my roommate's vlogging about me, and it just, like, shows him on his camera, like, hey, anyway, like, my idiot roommate, like, totally left the bathroom like this, like, oh, my idiot roommate, like, he doesn't even pay for his own Netflix, and then it cuts to, like, his roommate, like, are you making videos about me? Like, what? No. Why would you say that? It's just about whoever. It's just, like, it's just comedy. It's just making things. Like, it seems very specific to be about your roommate, which is me. And that, to me, is just, like, even more so, like, that's your husband, right? Like, maybe you're not married and this is hilarious, but it seems to be like, hey, instead of telling you that I have a problem... Didn't even have to finish, couldn't even finish that thought without rethinking. Of course you already said, like, hey, can you stop being a dirtbag in our own home? And he was like, yeah, of course, babe. Babe, listen, babe, I'll do my best, babe. Come on, babe, I worked hard all week, babe. Babe, let me buy you a new Netflix. Like, that's not how this works. Babe, I'll make sure to wipe up the sugar next time I pour it all over the counter. Don't pour it all over the counter. Babe, it's fast-paced life, fast and furious. Family first, you know. Vin Diesel. Like, that doesn't make any sense. You're terrible. So yeah, that's what that is to me. It's just like, hey, I'm just like making videos about my douchey roommate. Like, that's your husband? / get out. Sirens every night, 'cause everyone's got a gun. Sirens every night, 'cause nobody knows how to have fun. They just want to have trouble all up in their face. People want to have a war that's based on race. Oh, hey! Maybe it's coming here. Nope. Wee. Whoop, whoop. That's the sound of the police. Whoop, whoop. That is the sound of the police. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Oh, Sonic, you're the fastest. So that was something fun. That was on the internet today. That wasn't racist, but still infuriated me. That's all the things I wrote down, but I know I had a million other things. Alright, Sonic have a belly. Been only watching Sonic videos forever. Still can't remember what he looks like. Oh, Safari, you're the worst. Do 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 do. Bring, bring. Alright. Oops. Still need my remote. My remote. Gotta have my remote so I can change my camera. What? Gotta change the camera so I can change perspective. Ha. Sometimes you make a circle in space. It has nothing to do with this little Sonic face. Then you break it all apart. Take away some art. Took away the wrong line. So last week, at the weekly meeting at my job, so I work at Streamlabs, I work at Logitech, the thing that runs all of this streaming, this delightful remote control in my phone that controls the streaming, so I can switch from camera to camera with the grays to V's. If I even look at the right camera, then that's even better. And yeah, every week we have a meeting, and I've talked about this before. We'll do a little show and tell, basically, for my team that shows this is what we did this week. I don't know what else to say. I don't know who most of these people are. I'm just filling time, and this is just what a panic attack sounds like when I have nothing to say, but it's my time, and I don't need to say anything, but I'm just going to keep making noise until it's done. and it usually turns into this weird like, hey, and welcome to this week's creative team roundup. First up, we have what I did this week. Some Vampire Boy stuff for this Vampire Boy from the CW, whoever that is. I don't know. I've never heard of him before. I don't have cable. I'm an old man. And then this is what Clyde did. This is what Corbin did. Corbin's amazing. Albert did this. So many things, Albert. Who are your machine? And so anyway, last week, Corbin sends me a message. Oh, Albert feels so bad. His internet went out like before it got to your presentations. Like mine is the least informative, important presentation out of the whole company at large. Everybody else has something to say about what they're doing and what has been done and how it affects things. And every single time, I do think Corbin Dallas every single time I say his name in my head. But no. Corbin Dallas. Exterminate. Now he's the greatest. It's the company's pretty big at this point, and everybody has pretty much a mention of Corbin. Like, hey, we built this whole new thing thanks to do and Corbin. Hey, we figured out how to work the whole internet and just make everything better thanks to this person, that person, Corbin, and whatever. It's just like, when do you sleep, Corbin? When do you sleep? Like, oh yeah, I was your age. I used to just work all the time too at my job and never stop, and that's fine. That's fine. He is a multi-pass. Like, he is unbelievable. So Corbin's like, Al missed it, and I write, and I'm tempted to write, who cares? It's unimportant. But I legitimately am like, oh, when I realized who he was talking about, I'm like, oh, Al isn't the guy who does all the stuff on our team? He's great. I feel bad now that he missed it, even though, again, it's just me playing nonsense. So I kind of was like, all right, I was like, no problems. Like, next week, I'll make sure to make it extra special for him. So whatever. But hopefully he didn't tell him that, because by the time meeting time came around today, because today it was on a Tuesday instead of a Monday, I was just like, I'm just in the middle of animating a dog over here again. I'd kind of rather just finish animating this dog or eat something or anything else. I just don't really have anything to say right now. And so I just kind of like, blah, 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 which I still normally do. The thing comes on, I unmute myself, and I'm just like, hey, I'm just saying what I see on the screen. Once again, I don't need to do this. I'm just filling time, and you guys seem to like that for some reason, so I'll keep doing it, and one of these days I'll add something to it. Because genuinely, every week, I keep just trying to plan, like, you know what I should do? I'll grab one of these cameras, have my zoom run through that, and like, instead of sharing screens or whatever. Oh, iTunes, get out of here. Oh, it's not even called iTunes anymore. It's just called Music. And yes, set it up so that the camera is looking at this screen here while I talk, and have Milo actually do. I usually don't turn the screen on at all, because it's like, oh, it's Monday. I'm gonna like get up and be clean and stuff by noontime on Monday during the end of the world? No, I'm not. Oh yeah. It's like, how do I get to the drawing thing again? So I was planning that, and it's like every week I honestly think of like 50 more entertaining ideas than I do for this thing. When this is the thing that should be entertaining. But that's what happens when you're a crazy person. You're just a little bit nuts. You're a little bit nuts. So, I don't know, this week wasn't that special, but yeah, I've got a lot of ideas. I genuinely / definitely come up with so many just songs / raps or whatever, rhymes of everything, where I'm just like, I already know what we did this week, or for the most part, or actually look this time. And then I'll just be like, should I just go with this? Should I just unmute and be like, hey, what's today? I don't have one in my head now. So that's why that didn't go anywhere. But hey, what do we say? It's meeting day. It's the creative team. What do we have to show? It's animated, bro. This is my slides. But here's Clyde's, though. He's dropping 3D. It's easy to see that this goes around in a 360. And that's why I don't do it. I'm not going to genuinely sit and write, hey guys, remember how on old TV shows they used to teach things through, like, I don't know how to get through to you youngsters. I'll turn this history lesson into a rapping rhyme for you, huh? No, that was awful. It was terrible. But it does work, and the reason it does work, or my citation for why I think it works, is in the days when Theo and Cockroach were rapping their history lesson to Mrs. Westlag, who I'm pretty sure was the math teacher, but whatever, on the old Cosby Show before that was ruined. That was a thing. It was encouraged. Like, hey, we're doing presentations. Come up with a thing. So, I couldn't for the life of you tell. Actually, it doesn't fully work. I can't tell you why or what it was about. But these 3 guys, yes, 3 guys. I know Steven was one of them. I think Wayne was the other one, and then that other guy, who I feel like was also a Steven. No. I picture like a Gus. Gus. His name was Jason. Wow. Steel Trap. But maybe I'm wrong. You don't know. So they went up and they did a rap in front of the class in grade 4. And I remember, like, being super impressed, other than I know that, like, these guys are kind of, like, for the most part, thieves and liars. So they definitely stole this from something else. And at the time, I think I did know what it was stolen from. Not that it was that drastic, but it just burned into my mind for my entire life. This is grade 4. I am a million years old right now. This is like well over 20 years ago. It went, yeah, one guy was doing the just in his hands or whatever, and then the other guys were Beastie Boysing, and one guy would do most of it, the other guy would do the other, and it's like, these guys definitely practiced, stolen or otherwise. Like, this is the first time these guys have put some effort into something. This is amazing. And yeah, I just remember it went, the weatherman is very bold. He can't tell hot from cold. And then other stuff from there. Was John in on that? No. Maybe. Yeah. I don't think it was Wayne. Wayne wasn't in that class at all. I think it was Steven? What's his name? Steven, John, and Jason. Anyway. Makes no never mind. But yeah, it was just like, man. He's serving it up hot to the weatherman that he's right. He doesn't know. He's always wrong. Excuse me.
Meow. 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 Meow.
Thanks. Thanks, Rips. Nobody wants to see that. Oh, yeah. Gotta get a haircut. Mm-mm. So that was a fun little detour, huh?
Meow. Meow.
Whoa. Ripley. No. Just watch where my fingers are. That's what I get for being a jerk. Speaking of being a jerk for fun, Space Goonie's a jerk for fun. Today, Space Goonie brought up the fact that Jeremy Renner... Whoa. Jeremy Renner looks like... how did you put it? He looks like all of the extra skin from Gordon Ramsay was used to construct a new person, and it's Jeremy Renier. I couldn't think of a better way to say that weird. And once I finished reading that sentence, I was like, yeah. He's kind of like if Gordon Ramsay was a mold for people that was just like, and then you opened that up, Jeremy Renner would be the negative image that comes from the inside of a Gordon Ramsay model or a mold. And but the thing that it really sparked. Oh, that's what it was. He's made out of Gordon Ramsay's extra skin folds. Which is offensive to both of them. They're rich. They can take it. But yeah, it just got me thinking, like, for a little while, that that Jeremy Renner, like, I keep forgetting, it was like, I'll see him in movies, especially like in as the Hawkeye. I'm just like, yep. Hawkeye is a basically dumb character that makes no sense in this universe, and you make me believe in him. You make me care about Hawkeye. You're doing a great job, and you're really Spider-Manning with the dialogue, the way that Hawkeye does in the Avengers comics when he's like bantering with Spider-Man while he's Ronin anyway, and the ones that I have, and. But other movies that I keep avoiding because I'm like, oh, Jeremy Renner. He's like the fake version of all of the real actors. Oh, you can't get Matt Damon? Jeremy Renner. You can't get Tom Cruise? Jeremy Renner. He's just like, he's the second choice for everything, in my head at least. In my head. But every time I see him in something, I'm just like, why is this guy not in the movie more? He's like the best part of this movie over here. Look at him. He cares. He's acting his face off. You guys are just getting paid, and he's like, he needs this, and he's really doing it. And I enjoy watching him, but it's only until after a movie or during a movie where I'm like, oh yeah, I don't hate you. Anyway, 20 minutes after this movie's over, I'm going to forget you were in it, and I'm going to be back to hating you, Jeremy Renner, because just some weird, generic brand version of actor that you seem to be, and I don't think you are. I don't know. And he puts out albums like there's nothing more I want to say offensive, upsetting, and inspiring and awesome about an actor that's like now putting out an album. Like, why? Oh yeah, because you have fans that will like the things that you do. So even if you're the worst at this, you'll still have at least like this, like 14 people to say like, no, I liked your album. You know, again, the same reason where every few days. No, I almost want to correct it and say every few weeks. Every few days, a minimum 4 days, maximum 4 days, where I think, oh yeah, that avocado shake Drake idea of I should just record myself doing weird acapella sounds versions of all of the Mario / Nintendo songs that I can do. Like, even just put the headphones on, listen to them, play the game, and just do the... And just do it in different ways. And still, I'm just like, why not? Why not? Like, because the why really just comes down to I was encouraged by a minimum of 1 to 2 people. That's all it takes. Jeremy Renner just got at least 200 people encouraging him. At least. He's not ugly. He doesn't seem stupid. But yet, I keep him lodged in that slot in my head. That is unacceptable. So run with us, Jeremy Renner, at your heels. 'Cause yeah, Tag? Is the movie called Tag? I think the movie's called Tag. It's not hide and seek. Yeah, with Jeremy Renner and John Hamm. Oh yeah, and my favorite guy, whose name I can never remember, from The New Girl and Jurassic World. Anyway, Tag was amazing. It was so good. So good. I was so impressed. Other than, again, the same with... No, that one wasn't too bad. But the same with Games Night. There's still just weird things where it's like they're trying to jam in some relationship-y stuff. It's like, this doesn't have to be here. But then by the end of it, when that lady who is in every movie but just doesn't really have a part other than, this is my horrible wife, when she was like tagging people at the end, I'm just like, yeah! But still, at the end, I was like, John Hamm! Not Jeremy Renner. Even though, you know, he was like the coolest guy in that movie. Still the worst. Jake Johnson, yes. He's like my favorite. I cannot get enough of him. You know, aside from Ben Schwartz and Thomas Middleditch, John Hamm, Jeremy Renner. We're all nuts down here. Alright, let's add some color. Close these doors and go home. We've got everything we need. Run with us. We are free. Run with us. We've got everything you need. Run with us. We are in fact free. When darkness falls, leaving shadows in the night, don't be afraid, 'cause he's faster than light. He's just a little hedgehog with red sneakers, hey. He's gonna save everyone from Robotnik's way. Inside all the robots, it's all the creatures there. Little piggy pigs and little bunny hairs. So run with us. We've got everything you need. Run with us. We are free. Don't be afraid of Cyril Sneed. Oh no, Cyril Sneer. Ruined. Ugh. Throw it all away. Start over. There's no need to carry on. It's no good. You've done it wrong. Sonic, Sonic, Sonic the Hedgehog, so cool. I watched something else this weekend for sure. I watched a movie, didn't I? It's something at least that's a little more pop culture friendly to talk about. Ooh, I watched some of the Eliza Schlesinger. Am I confusing her with somebody else? I think it's the Anyway, the Eliza Schlesinger sketch show on Netflix. Watching the first episode of that. That was pretty cool. Cause the raccoons are here and they don't even care. They'll eat your face and they'll steal your clothes. They'll dump out your trash, shove poop up your nose. Yeah, I definitely have some kind of animal summoning ability. Oh, it was weird the other night going for a walk. Again, not very nighty, but just dark enough. I want to say around the same area where I saw that raccoon. There's like some pretty big trees right in the front lawns of houses that are like, 4 feet away from the tree. And just like walk in. And then all of a sudden it's just like deer, just right here. Like, hey, like what's up, dog? Can I take your picture if I get my phone out? Are you gonna tear off? Because you seem pretty close. If I had food with me, I guess I would maybe feed you so you'd stay around and we'd be friends. I don't know. So he started to walk away a little bit, and then yeah, on my Instagram, at least in my stories. That's just one of those street deer. It's the exact same deer. It's always the same deer as, I'm not sure again if it was a post and a story or just a story, but there was a dumpster deer that I posted. Same deer. He's just like right over there. He's like 2 minutes down the street that way, and he's just always around. And he means well. Sadly, the car hood deers. I mean, he's definitely one of the deer that inspired us. But the car hood deer, they're just Google deer. If I had any sort of artistic integrity, I would have and should have gone out and taken photos of specifically Truro deer and put them on there. But if you're in Truro and you want to show that you know about how deer are everywhere and these Truro deer, no such thing as grownups.com or society6.com. There it is down at the bottom of the screen. There's some shirts, and one of them is a deer shirt. Bunch of deers hanging out in your car. Especially if you drive an SUV, because I made an SUV. Don't be afraid Wipe that tear from your eye. Oh no, Sonic. We gotta separate your arm from your chest, 'cause it looks weird and we might get an arrest. 'Cause it's a little bit pervy and too much skin. Forgot to color in your teeth, in your angry grin. All right. Yeah. No. Yeah. Bum, 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 bum. Cause Tails is the worst, oh Tails is the worst. He's not much help and he's just the worst. Yeah, I'll leave it like that. 10 out of 10. Seems like a reasonable time to round things up again. That's a little up shot at Sonic. A little Sonic upskirt for fun and or profit. Other than that, yeah. Always check out the Instagram. There are some new strips. I wonder. Oops. Where do I keep anything? I just can't see it from here. No. Beep. Move this up here. I'm mildly super proud of this one. I was working on a comic also like for days where it's mostly, I'm not working on it. It's pretty much there. And I'm like, I just feel bad about it, but it's kind of like, I'll end up doing it anyway and I'll put it out. So because I didn't feel comfortable with that one, I made this one, which is still being mean, but it's not about current affairs. It's just one of the things that are like, hey, let me just hurt your brain a little bit if you're into these things. And I don't know, I love, like, calling Link Zelda is one of my favorite things in the world. And for some reason, I just thought, you know, it'd be great. Let's just jam a good handful of things in there that just don't work, and see if anybody's brain breaks. And some Nintendo nerds that I know, they shared it, so I'm like, all right, it worked. They understand what I'm doing. They don't think I'm a complete idiot. But yeah, that's the joke. Is that's not Zelda, and Metroid is not a robot spaceman. Metroid is a lady in a suit, and Princess Zelda is the princess. The Triforce is like the I don't know, the three triangles that power everything. I don't know, and then, yeah, just the fact that it's like, yes, we will have accurate conversations later. Beep boop. That's a completely inaccurate thing to have happened. But unless you know any of that stuff, it's just nonsense and stupid either way. But yeah, just once I got the idea or just the thought of like, hey, Mr. Metroid, oh, hello, Zelda. I'm just like, that's all I need. I don't need to do anything else. That's the only thing I really want to do. And then the rest is like, let's just keep compounding on top of this. And to be fully honest, I think that this was the main stepping point, aside from going out into nature, finally doing the dishes and cleaning up. Having this and going, I'm gonna make this, was my stepping stone to like, all right, I'm motivated now. I can do things. Look at this. I just pulled this out of my butt in a few minutes, and things are fun. Let's do more things. Excuse me. So yeah, I was pretty happy with that. And as always, if you're not following the Instagram, this is the kind of stuff you're missing out on, and the stuff that I put up here. And can't get back. There we go. But yeah, that's it for this week. Tune in next Tuesday, where we'll do something else again. Most likely based on whatever influences me over the week. Just like Little Sonic here. And Instagram, t-shirt store. I should get on Terra to do another podcast. And, oh yeah, that other thing with you. Yeah, we got a whole list of things over there to like, hey, Milo Project. Let's do this Milo Project. You got like so many Milo projects, but they're basically like, oh, how about if I just have a collection of Post-it notes? We'll just collect a bunch of Post-it notes with great ideas on them, and then every so often throw them away because nothing is a good idea. Just do it. Just do it. I demand my own thing. I demand my own show, and we're going to do this. You're going to do this. I'm going to just be here waiting for you to put the camera in my face, and then we'll just more skits. More skits, I demand. It's on the Post-it notes. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, I always feel like this is the end of the week for some reason, but I'm just like, oh yeah, I still have a bunch more days of work to do. But yeah, one of these days, tomorrow I'll be like, hey, see you guys tomorrow for doing more of this stuff, because I don't have to work, because we do this stuff. We're selling t-shirts. And Fanta is just sending money by the can. Oh my god. Fanta, what a horribly ineffective way to send money, but thanks. I guess I'll hang these all up to dry, and then I'll spend my Phantom money. But until... Wrong camera. Until we get all that Phantom money, we'll be here every Tuesday doing this, and you're just trying to save the world from itself, and trying to save adults from becoming grown-ups. That's my main slogan that I keep forgetting. Trying to save adults from becoming stupid, fake, idiot grown-ups. Stupid. Pretenders. Ripples. McNipples. Roll those sweet credits.
Can I say one thing before the credits roll? Just one. One thing is very important. Please just let me say one thing. Ripley, one thing. Just one chance to make my chance. Ripley, please, okay, 1, 2, 3, and then I'm gonna say my thing. 3, then 2, then, oh.
Oh, sorry, CTK. You'll have to check out the reruns. Cause now it's time to go to sleep now. It's time to upload the pics now. It's time for my same old tricks. Gotta turn down the lights and put these chords away. Good night, everybody. Thanks for hanging out. And, see you every week.
Every week. Every week. Seriously, this is not cool. Not cool at all.
Meow. 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 Meow.